So I'm with my good friend, Dr. B at Longevity Veterinary Center on Route 10 East in Whippany. And I have been checking this out on your website and on your Facebook page, and it's pretty amazing. Now, really the mantra here is preventive and treatment. So if you can avoid problems before they start, there you go, bingo. That's the goal. But sometimes problems will start. So let's talk about cancer in dogs. When I saw the statistics, I think it's like 1 in every 5 dogs.
Right here.
1 in every 4 dogs and in 5 cats. That is an alarming statistic. So before we start about the let's test cancer risk on your pet, Dr. B, what do you think it is that's affecting our pets?
It's a lot of things. It's lifestyle. It's a food that's available. It's the over-vaccinating and over-chemical exposure for fleas and ticks and lawns, etc., that we want to try to avoid. I mean, the same is with us. The more we can do that's good, and the less that we can do that's bad, that will decrease the chances of cancer. And you have to also remember, not only 1 out of 4 in dogs that actually get cancer in some time in their lives, but when they get older, it's more like 1 out of 2. And it's
just like people. Yeah.
Causes of death.
Absolutely. I hear it so frequently. I've had dogs that I've lost to cancer. So this is incredible. When you come to Longevity, there's all kinds of information that you can get right up front. But this is the Let's Test Cancer Risk pamphlet. So Dr. B, talk to me about how you guys test for cancer. And if you find something suspicious, what do we do? If we are thinking that a dog maybe isn't feeling well and you're suspecting that it's cancer, what do we do? What are the different courses that you follow when you're testing a dog's cancer risk?
Actually, once a dog is a senior, which means 7 years or older, a lot of people would just like to be sure that they don't have cancer, and they'll test once every year, once every other year. It's a blood test, and there's certain breeds that are more susceptible, more predisposed. So when you think of boxers, you think of Boston Terriers, you think of golden retrievers and other retrievers, there's a higher risk of cancer. So those I would think of testing maybe once a year. It's only, well, we have a special going on for $149, but I think it's a little bit more than that normally, and it's worth peace of mind.
And what does the test entail for our furry babies?
Blood test.
Just a blood test.
And it tells you the percentage of probability of cancer being there. And if it's very high, then you might want to go further, take ultrasound, do an ultrasound test or x-rays, regular blood tests, and also, more in-depth physical examination to try to be sure that indeed you don't have cancer, or if you do, to then go after it.
So let's talk a little bit about the lumps and bumps. I'm always going around rosy. What do I feel? Is this a skin tag? Could this be something? Is that something? So if somebody thinks that they have something suspicious on their pet and they bring their pet to you, what would be your course of action?
Well, first of all, to feel it. If it's a very soft, and depends on the breed again, and it depends on the location on the body, it may be just a benign fatty tumor. All right, and those we generally don't worry about too much. A very, very tiny amount of those can be liposarcomas, which can be tumors, or can be cancer, but even they don't act too metastatically. They don't really spread that much. If it's a small bump, then we are worried about it, or just curious. It could be a mast cell tumor, and mast cell tumors are pretty scary. We have a new technology.
I was going to ask you. Now, Dr. B always has something up his sleeve that's revolutionary and ahead of his time. So let's go over and check out this new technology that you have.
So this is the HT Vista. We've only had it for a couple months, and it's only been out for a couple months as far as I know. It's a foreign technology, I believe, from Israel, and this little handle will heat up the tumor or the skin mass, and it causes the mass to emit certain frequencies, and then the other side will actually read those frequencies and send those out to over the internet to a company that can compare it to tens of thousands of other profiles and determine through artificial intelligence what the percentage of malignancy that little mass is, that skin tag or tumor or whatever it is. If it's, let's say, a lipoma, it's going to come out 1% or at least less than 10%. If it is something to worry about, it might come out much higher. Even if it's 15 or 17, we're likely to suggest putting a needle into it, taking a fine needle aspirate, and putting that on a slide, sending it to the laboratory, and have them determine what the cells represent.
This is very, very impressive. So how long have you been using this, and how many animals have you had under, sort of this microscope?
Only 19. 19. Worldwide, 23,650. So it's relatively new.
Relatively new and amazing technology. Wow, very impressive, and certainly, definitely here to improve the quality of life for our best friends. I mean, the earlier that you would find something that could be wrong, even if it is some sort of a lipoma and the dog is very uncomfortable or it can get infected, I mean, it's just always great to know what you're dealing with.
Right. Hopefully, in more cases than not, it's very low probability, and that gives peace of mind. Peace of mind is worth so much, but it also avoids a lot of expense. It saves people hundreds or thousands of dollars not having to do so.
And saves your dog going under anesthesia and having hospital stays and being stressed and all of those things that we as pet parents really fear for our dogs. The first thing I'm thinking is, oh no, if Rosie has to go under anesthesia, or is she going to be afraid, or is she going to have to stay overnight? So all of those things all combined in one. Okay, so you get bad news. Maybe the news is not what you expected. What are the treatments that you guys have? And I know that there are a lot of treatments that you have that are also holistic, that are really wonderful for the quality of life for our pets. So talk to me a little bit about those.
Right. We are an integrative practice, which means we do conventional medicine, plus we do alternative medicine. So it's called holistic veterinary medicine or
because that's the option. Yeah, the option is always, you've got the choice of both. So obviously you're going to take the best course of aggressive action if needed for a pet, or you're going to try to do something if you can to avoid that, if it's avoidable for the pet.
Right. Yeah. We rarely do chemotherapy. We rarely refer out for radiotherapy because the statistics aren't that impressive. Sure. And so over here.
Yeah, let's talk about some of these great things you have here.
These are actual medications that can treat, and they do work in different ways. There's herbal therapy. This is Western herbal therapy. The American Indians have been using bloodroot for thousands of years for cancer. There's Chinese herbal therapy. There's mushroom therapy. And then there's nutraceuticals that can help. Now, those do not remove cancer. Those do not treat cancer necessarily. It may, but I don't depend on that. The important thing is you make the animal healthy and try to get its body to battle the cancer. Because the body is actually, the immune system is made to treat, to remove its cancer as much as possible. We often have to debulk the tumors, remove them surgically, but you can't get all the other cells. Some of these things help to remove the other cells, but you also want to really spend time on creating a good foundation so the immune system can work very well. Okay, so it's a partnership between the pet and the veterinarian and the owner to try to remove cancer. Now, people say, can you remove this cancer? I will never say yes. In fact, you'd have to be a fool to say that you definitely can remove cancer, but the aim is always that. And the expectation is more like slowing it down or stopping it from advancing. But, you know, we have seen a lot of miracles. We even saw an osteosarcoma disappear, which doesn't happen. It's impossible.
Well, every dog, I would imagine, or cat, or whatever your pet is, exotic, has a different course of treatment. And that's the beautiful part.
Yeah. So I was saying about establish a good base, and the most important thing from my point of view is the microbiome, the bacteria and other 4,000 different microbes that are part of the intestinal biome, okay, the microbiome. That accounts for more than 70% of all the health in the body, or the 70% of the health influences in the body. So that's important. Chiropractic helps the immune system very much. And besides the chiropractic to help the immune system, also sometimes we'll use acupuncture, depending on the situation, the individual case, and the doctor's preference. Other things do sometimes immune support medication. Good diet where you keep the carbohydrates down and you know, increase certain vitamins, etc. So we have actually cancer diets here. And then we use ozone, intravenous ozone, and we also use IV vitamin C. And those two treatments are extremely strong. That's how we got rid of that osteosarcoma in that one case. Now, I don't want people to think, oh, if they bring an osteosarcoma case, I'm going to get rid of that cancer. I hope that that would happen, but that has only happened once where it totally removed. But there's been a lot of cases where we've been able to arrest it or slow it down so that the leg could be preserved, so at least the animal could have a good life for the maybe shortened but extended time that it has.
Quality of life, so incredibly important. Dr. B, if people want to come in, they just make an appointment to get this cancer screening for their pet. Come on in, just do a general visit. I know you guys have something going on for the next, is it a month or so?
Well, it's cancer screening test.
Yeah.
And I also want to let the people know, including their veterinarians, that I love to work with their vets.
Oh, that's great.
I don't like to take the case and just run with it.
That's
It's more important that it's a partnership. Yeah.
Course of treatment, partnership. I love that. And I always learn something new every time I come here. And Dr. B, it's always so great to talk to you. Longevity Veterinary Center. We are going to be here, by the way, for Dog Days of Summer in just a couple weeks. So I'm really excited on Sunday, June 22nd. Please come out and join us. If you've not been to this amazing facility, you can check it out. You can see the phenomenal people that they have working here. And of course, meet the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Dr. B. It's so nice to have you.
All the veterinarians here do all these things too.
I know, but you know, you're kind of like you're the man behind the scenes. You know, you're like the great and powerful Dr. B.
Well, thank you for the accolade.
Legendary. And by the way, every time I come here, I just love to get a tour because I marvel at how beautiful this place is and everything that you do. So I'm going to take my little tour of Longevity. And thank you so much for letting us in today.
Thank you so much for visiting. We love DHA.